Hi everybody, my name is Bob Trezise. I'm the President and CEO of Lansing Economic Area Partnership, LEAP, which represents Ingham, Eaton, and Clinton County, Greater Lansing of Michigan, in economic development projects and activities and initiatives. And you're here listening and watching another weekly version of the LEAP Weekly. And we'll talk in the next 3 to 5 minutes about economic development activities in the three-county area. I want to make sure too that everybody, I know you're all watching the video, who would want to miss that, but make sure that you do click down a little bit and see all of the links to articles from this past week. We do this every week, links to the economic development stories. There's often many, and you'll find gems in there that can help you at your business. It pulls out every article together from a variety of media sources. And make sure that you're utilizing that as you activate in your own business and you're thinking about issues within our region. Make sure that you do that. And so anyway, we have a bunch of really great things going on. One thing we found out in the Urban Institute this week ranked the Lansing area #1 for real population growth in the state of Michigan through 2030. That's their projection. That's 77,000 people they're projecting that will be living here over the next, the next 2 decades until 2030, a 17% increase. And of course you add that to the other great news from the last month or two that we're 2.4% in GDP growth, which is triple most of the other regions in the state of Michigan. Last week we were named the #4 best, most affordable, livable community in the United States. And now through 2030 we are going to be the #1 population growth region in the entire state of Michigan. Well, this is great news for everybody. That population growth is absolutely, in my judgment, the single most important indicator that we could have about what is happening, because that creates such opportunity for so many different kinds of businesses and tax revenue and everything else that really propels a community to move forward. If you don't believe it, look at the coast, look at the South. So this is a really great news item for us. Another interesting article was today about the metropolitan Lansing area and labor union issues. And apparently currently we are at 18.9%, which is 33rd in the country as far as unionization rate. But compare that to our unionization rate was 29% in 2007, which tied us for 5th in the country. And I had a couple comments about this article today that I would have added on. In the article, number one, I thought it would have been even more interesting if the article had taken out state government. Of course, we're the capital, so take out state government and take out a Big Ten university, Michigan State University, and then what would our unionization rates look like, and how would that compare to the country? And secondly, the article referred to our region as just the 3 C's: capitals, cars, and the campus. Of course, being Michigan State University. I completely reject that. That is not what, that's the old Lansing, and we need to get rid of the old Lansing thinking. Those are really critical areas of our economy. We're very, very proud of them, but that is not the new Lansing story. The new Lansing story are those things plus. We have so many high-tech companies, and let alone, what about the Fortune 500 companies, the insurance companies that have been growing here that are #1 in the country, Jackson National Life, Auto Owners Insurance, Accident Fund. I mean, we have to really understand that that is a huge part. We're a leading community now in the United States for that industry. We have colleges and universities that have designed whole degrees and curriculums around that industry. So we really need to be careful about identifying what our region is. We're very much so many high-tech companies: Niowave, Neogen, Emergent Biosolutions. Neogen was #3 in the entire state of Michigan for revenue generated for our biotechnology company. So, I mean, we really have to understand XG Sciences and TechSmith and Liquid Web and IDV and Comlink, and, you know, we could just go DuPont, we could go on and on and on. We really have to make sure we understand the new Lansing economy and what it really is. Well, there's some exciting news. We're going to demolish on Monday the former GM training building on Grand River by the airport. This is a building that's been abandoned for decades and been falling down, and a real eyesore for our community. And of course, a big part of what economic development does so well is removing blighted and contaminated sites, eyesores, from our community and redeveloping them and putting them back on the tax roll so they can generate revenue and jobs and take away the visual sadness what they represent. So we're so thankful to the Ides for doing this project. We're bringing to the table an EPA revolving loan fund of $279,000 to demolish the building, and later this year it will be rebuilt into a new mixed-use building right along that key corridor along the airport in the city of Lansing. So congratulations to the Ides and Carl Dorsmer here in our office for putting that great project together. I also noticed today there's an interesting article about Ingham County and the millage that they passed last fall to build more parks and trails. It's a really interesting moment that's going on. Rebecca Barr Cook, Ingham County Board of Commissioner, and others have put together a public forum where they're asking for everyone to interact about what trails should be prioritized and parks and what should happen. But of course, we see this as a big part of economic development. That is, if you accept that Lansing area is a global entity and that we are competing on a global stage, which we definitely are, so much of that now is about placemaking and talent. How do we keep and attract talent, high-end talent? How do we keep and attract college students from MSU and all the colleges and universities? And a big part of those endeavors is to create a great place, a global environment, a cosmopolitan feel. And so much of that has to do with the development of arts and culture, but also the place. And that has a lot to do with parks and river trails and connecting communities into one of the greatest, literally greatest river trail systems in the country, which we have now. We can even improve upon that, but that really matters when we're trying to attract families, whether it's nuclear physicists for the FRIB from Stockholm, or bioscientists from Denver, to emergent biosolutions, or to accident fund specialists, or everything else, doctors to Sparrow. We have to have these kind of placemaking, an aesthetic quality to this, and so it's a very important conversation. Congratulations to Ingham County and to Rebecca Barr Cook for leading that effort. And finally, Michigan State University had even more great news this week. MSU's endowment fund, which is the #2 endowment fund for universities in the state of Michigan, just behind the University of Michigan. Well, MSU's endowment fund increased $500 million last year, which is the largest single one-year jump ever. And it's a 17% return on investment. And this is a result of their $1.5 billion capital campaign, Spartans Will, which they've already raised $780 million. This is also the new Michigan State University. And of course, it's so critical to not only our region, but the state and really the country and world. I mean, that's the kind of player Michigan State University is. So congratulations to President Simon and the entire team over there, the alumni, and everyone else who is contributing to the new Michigan State University. That's it, everybody. We'll see you next week.